Hey everybody, welcome back to another podcast of Not So Hipster. Here again, joining me is Eduardo Loo. Say hi, Edward.
Hey everyone, I hope you're having an amazing day.
So we got a pretty special podcast here today. Yesterday, well, depends on when you're hearing this, was it Wednesday? Yes. On Wednesday, there was the third and final presidential debate. And it was a pretty good presidential debate. After this debate, I think on November 8th is when the elections are. We actually vote. So again, if you have not registered, I don't know if it's too late for you to register or not, but if you are registered, you go and vote. It's a democratic process here, so it's all good. Anyways, so first off, my first initial thoughts on the debate was that this was one of the better, I guess, debates between the two of them. There wasn't that much interruptions. I mean, there were interruptions, but there were less interruptions than most of the time. Donald Trump actually, he actually stuck to the script thing this time. He seemed more prepared than before, and he wasn't too much interrupting like he usually did in the other two debates. But I mean, there are a couple of headlines that the media and the press are gonna have fun with in this debate. What was your overall thought on the debate, Edward?
I thought it was very much repetition of the last two debates we've seen. We really didn't hear anything else new. As towards the attitudes of both candidates, I mean, I think it's the same as we've seen them before. I don't think much changed this last time around.
Well, I thought that the attitudes. I mean, the attitudes stayed the same. But like the way they handled themselves was different. I don't know. I didn't see the first one. The second one, I did kind of tune in and out and see. This one I saw thoroughly, and based on what I've seen of Donald Trump before the presidential debates, like the Republican debates, he handled himself better. And Clinton, well, I mean, she's a pro already at debates and stuff, so she was the same. She was the same, but so there's a couple of things that I kind of want to dive into a little, not further, but explore. First of all, I think Donald Trump has a hard time handling the Hispanic side of United States. I mean, I
think that's an understatement.
Yeah, it was. I mean, first, you retweeted a tweet that I'm gonna quote. Well, not really quote, but kind of quote. Is he in the first when he first nominated himself, he was
when he first announced himself as president. Yes. He didn't nominate himself.
Sorry, yeah. When he first announced himself as president, he
was candidate for president.
Blah, blah, blah. As candidate for president back in the day.
Summer last year.
Was it summer last year?
Mm-hmm.
It's already been a whole year.
Yep.
Man, okay. So summer last year when he nominated. Yes, that. Man, it's been a long day. Sorry, everybody.
This guy.
So he started by saying that all Hispanics and Mexicans who cross the border bring the drugs and are rapists and all that stuff. Well, you know what he said by now. And then in the second debate, he said they wasn't sure whether to call Hispanics or Latinos. And then this one, it was the bad hombres, as he said it. And holy crap, Twitter just exploded. Hashtag bad hombres was trending for like a long time. Like they had already skipped that part or gone past that part, and bad hombres was still a thing. even a YouTuber me and you follow, Philip Franco, he made a shirt that said "Bad Hombres" and "Bad." What was the girl version?
It was Nasty Woman.
Nasty Women, yeah. Bad
Something
Hombres
like that.
and Nasty Women, something like that. So that was one of the most, I guess, the funnier parts of the debate. Hillary
Which
Clinton
is saying
also,
something because it shouldn't be funny at all.
I know, yeah. And then, but your girl, Hillary Clinton with those comebacks, man.
They were good comebacks.
When they were talking about Russia, and she pretty much, well, she literally said that Donald Trump was Putin's puppet, and I'm like, oh man, that I tweeted about that really quick, and that just also exploded on Twitter. Yeah. This debate had some of the most memorable, I guess, one-liners in debates that I've seen in the past. What are your thoughts, man?
I don't know. I felt like this debate wasn't much different than from the other ones, except for the fact that I think this time Hillary wasn't playing defense anymore and she started playing offense. There was at one point where she baited Donald Trump and was successful at it into getting him to explode, and that's where Donald Trump lost it. And he became his usual self that we've known to listen to during these debates.
Yeah. Before that, during this debate, he was actually handling himself pretty good. Like he actually looked like he could carry a decent conversation with somebody without interrupting or screaming at you. Until when was that time where he what was that? Because I know I don't remember, but the there was a question that he was asked from the moderator asked him, and he kind of just went off on a tangent, and that was the time when he kind of lost momentum.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you would say.
I can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember there was a point where she was kind of baiting him into that.
Because like the thing about the sexual harassment thing, I guess, came up again, and I think he handled himself better than he did in the second debate. I think he actually stuck to the scripts or to the notes that they handed him whenever they knew they were gonna ask that question. Well, I mean, they didn't know what questions they were gonna ask, but I'm pretty sure his team said, "Hey, if they ask this question, answer it like this." And I think he did a fairly good job of answering that question, even though what he said was still pretty much a lie. I think, but he handled himself better. He wasn't. It wasn't a screaming match like we've seen in the past.
Well, I mean, I feel like this time we got the more louder of the yells because they were literally talking on top of each other multiple times. I think it was like maybe 5 times that they were talking over each other. So, I mean, I don't think that really went away, and I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe I saw a completely different debate. But I saw it kind of as the same. This is the same things that we've been seeing this whole time. If anything, I just feel like both sides are just a little more prepared.
Yeah, that's the way I felt it, and this is the democracy we live in, man. You see the debate one way, I see the debate the other way. Somebody else sees it totally different than we do. So that's the beauty of living in the United States of America, where we can make our own minds about issues. America. I really hoped they would have dove into the education, because in the second debate, did they talk about education?
No, definitely not.
In the first debate, did they talk about education?
Definitely not.
I don't think so, right?
No.
Yeah, that's one big thing for me that I really hope they would have dove in or dived into, and it's education. Hillary did, I guess, mention a little bit. It was more of a college thing where she wants to make every college, I guess, a free college or not pay tuition for people who earn less than a certain amount of money, which I think is fine. I think that having a free college or less tuition of a college is would be pretty cool because students would come out with less loans that they have to pay back. But I don't know how her plan on making sure that the college still has enough money to provide for all the students, like the buildings and all that stuff they need to. But that's one thing that I think would be pretty cool to make public colleges more affordable and or free for students that are coming up. I mean, because I know I have student loans, so I don't know if Hillary wins and that's one of the things she does. I don't know if it'll be in effect when you go to college because you're going to college soon. So I don't know if it'll be like a long term plan that she has, or a effective like she just does it like right away, which would be pretty cool. I think.
Right.
I don't know I wouldn't know the repercussions of that or the benefits. I mean, or how it would benefit in the. I mean, I know how it would benefit, but I don't know what the repercussions would be doing that. So who do you think won, man? The debate.
I think at the moment where Donald Trump said, "I will let you know how I feel" when asked about will you accept the decision made by the people of America, I think that's where he lost. Because he's treating this as if it were a game, and he lost, and he lost a game. This isn't a game. This is President of the United States of America, to the people of it, one of the most powerful nations in the world. So I mean, I don't think that should have been taken lightly. And I mean, he could have said that sarcastically, but this morning, as of recording this podcast, he mentioned that, or it was mentioned that during one of his what do you call it?
Rallies.
One of his rallies, he said that he will accept what happens with the elections, as long as he wins. Only if he wins, I guess. So I mean, that's where I felt like he lost, because I mean, you don't say that. That's not something a presidential figure should say. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense, and yeah, I agree with you there. That's where he kind of, I guess, I don't know if it was a written thing for him to say or he was just ad-libbing on that. But if it was a written thing to say, that's pretty bad writing or coaching from his staff. But if that was ad-lib, that was still pretty bad, because I mean he's pretty much saying that the American people don't know what they're doing. In truth be told, some people might not know what they're doing and just going into this blind, which I really hope you're not. If you're gonna choose one side or the other, go in, do your research, make sure you agree with or disagree with whoever you're doing, and who do you think will be better for the United States. Do your research when it comes to these big voting elections coming up. But I was watching after the debate. I watched a little bit of Fox News. Yes, I watched Fox News. I'm sorry for anybody who else watches CNN or NBC or CBS. Because I really like Megan Kelly. She's one of my favorite anchors. Anyways, I was watching it, and they brought on I think the PR guy for Trump, I believe, and if I remember correctly, and they pretty much played back that bit of him saying that, and the PR guy said yeah, Donald Trump was calling out the people who are gonna commit voter fraud. And I'm like, that's I mean, yes, I guess there are people who commit voter fraud, but I mean, that's really easy, I think, to do, to not make sure that they don't do that. Uh, I'm pretty sure that there is voter fraud out there, but I mean, to give that kind of answer as a, yeah, he did that for that thing, I don't think was the best answer to give. Um, I think the PR guy was like, holy crap, what am I gonna say in order for me to make Trump look good again in front of the American public on a very large media outlet. So
Right.
that's what I was thinking when he said that. I don't know what do you think on that?
I didn't see that or when they talked about that, but I mean, what can I say that hasn't already been said? It's disappointing to say the least, and I feel like it's not taken to the standard it should be taken. Because I mean, maybe those comments to your people, you say that, maybe to your people, like your campaign people, but at least lie about it to the American people. I mean, I know that sounds weird, but with something like that, it's not something that should be treated with lightly, I guess. Well, that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Now jumping into other things. What did they say? I I do. I still think that like we said in the previous podcast when we did this for the second presidential debate, um, I still want to see how Trump is going to do most of the stuff that he says he's going to do. Um, this time they asked him again about a question they asked. The moderator asked was from the economy, and Trump mentioned I think was it the NATO deal, and some deals that some deals the U.S. has with Mexico. They're gonna redo those, or if not, they're gonna completely take them away. If it doesn't benefit the U.S., which I mean, I get that. I get that you wanna benefit us more, but he still hasn't said how he was gonna do it, unless he did say that, but I missed it. But he still hasn't shown us or said how he was gonna do it. I mean, one thing is saying, yeah, we're gonna be great and we're gonna have great deals, but another thing is, yeah, but show me how you're gonna do that. And the moderator did push him on that. He pushed him a lot on that. He's like, yeah, you said that, but and he came with stats that he was like, yeah, but these guys from the private sector, they did the math and it just doesn't add up. So how are you gonna do it? And I really liked the moderator, how he just hit him with these hard questions, and he just didn't know what to do. He said the same thing over and over again,
Correct.
just in different ways.
Correct.
It's like what I would do in college to lengthen my papers. I would say the same thing, just differently.
Me too.
And that's what I would say. But what was your take on whenever they hit the economics part?
I fell asleep through that, so I can't answer properly. Kidding. I mean, I completely get that, but they've been talking about economics throughout this entire debate, and we haven't really talked about any, like, what is it? It's domestic affairs. We always talk about what they're going to do with taxes, and this time it was brought on that both of their plans suck. Either way you look at it, both of their plans would raise God knows how much of the national debt. However, Hillary's plan would be slightly less by like 20%. So I found that to be interesting, mainly because as a businessman, you'd expect Trump to know a little bit about how finances work. I don't know. Maybe I'm just giving him a hard time. I am giving him a hard time. But yeah, that's what I got from the economics part. It's a bunch of things that have been said. Don't get me wrong. It is important. But I would have liked for them to talk about more things. Like, for example, kind of switching it over. They talked about what is it? They talked about immigration for like 2 minutes and then moved on.
Yeah, I kind of wish that these debates were, I don't know if a little longer, but they would stick to like, let's say for like debate one, they would debate on this subject and that subject. And
I mean, I
debate
feel like
two,
then in that
they
case we
stick
would
on-
need a lot more debates.
Yeah, but I mean, like, in a what was it like in an hour?
Mm-hmm.
An hour of debate, you can debate 4 questions.
I mean,
give
that
them-
and the
give them
problem.
a couple minutes.
That and the problem is that they sidetracked so much that it took away from that whole thing.
But anyways, let's go with something positive, man. The moderator, I think, did an amazing job.
Me too.
In the second debate. What was his name again?
It was Chris Wallace, I think.
Chris Wallace from Fox News.
Correct, I think.
He's one of the better anchors that Fox News has. And, I mean, he's done this for a long, long time. Anyways, but I really liked how he. I mean, Chris Wallace. Everybody knows that he leans right. He leans.
He's very conservative.
Yeah, super conservative. Leans very Republican. But in this debate, the moderator, he hit Trump hard.
Correct.
And I mean, he hit him hard, and he hit Hillary hard. Like, he was right down the middle. That's what I saw. And I consider myself not really independent, but I'm not really affiliated with any party, you would say. So I felt that he was right down the middle. He gave some hard questions to Hillary. He gave some hard questions to Trump. And that's what I think. I think he did a great job. What was your thought on the moderator, man? Um, there was a couple times where the audience cheered, and laughed, and laughed. The one time where Trump said that nobody treats women better than he does, everybody just started laughing in the audience. It was, I mean, I don't know, man. That comment, it was pretty funny, I think, or bad, I guess you would say. Either way. um. I don't know, but I think he did handle himself better, like I said, in going back, in that subject. I was really surprised that the Hillary's emails weren't mentioned until like 30 minutes into the debate. I'm like, man, he actually came prepared this time, and he didn't answer every question with just Benghazi and Benghazi and Benghazi this and Benghazi that and emails this and emails that. So it was kind of astonishing. I even tweeted about it. I'm like, man, it's been like 30 minutes and still no emails.
So the only thing that I found weird, now that you mention up the emails, is the logic behind the fighting for this. Trump has said that he's upset because Hillary won't release her emails and she keeps them secret, right? That's the whole thing.
No, the whole thing is that she deleted emails from her private server.
But he wants to see them, correct? He wants them to be released. He keeps calling hackers to release them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, I think.
My whole thing with that is, it's a little weird because at the same time, he's the same guy that says, I'm not going to tell you how we're going to beat ISIS because then the whole world would know. But at the same time, he wants secret information to leak. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do get what you're saying. Yeah, that is true. I mean,
it was one of my many shower thoughts after the debate.
Yeah, I guess he wants to know what was. I mean, I don't know if what she has in there has anything to do with ISIS. I think it's more with the Benghazi stuff.
No. But I mean,
still,
yeah, a secret is a secret.
If there's something in there that has to do with present stuff, then yeah, you don't want that to be released. And I was actually surprised that Trump didn't hit Hillary, not hit her like like literally. I mean, hit her like figuratively with questions.
Or choice of words.
Choice of word. yeah. I know that was a very poor choice of words. I wonder. I was astonished that he didn't ask her or say push more on the what leaked in the WikiLeaks for when the DNC, it leaked that they would send their people or pay people to go and incite riots at Trump's rallies. So he mentioned that like one time, and I don't know if or more than one time. It was like, but it wasn't like every single time he mentioned it. It was more of a like precise one or two or three times. I don't remember how much he said, but in the past, I think different Donald Trump or a less prepared Donald Trump would just chase her with that. Like he would just go, everything will go back to that. So I don't know if that was strategy on his team's part or I don't know, but I was kind of surprised that he didn't push her more on that subject.
I think it had to do a lot with what I consider him playing defense this time around. I don't think he was playing offense at all, because I think he's starting to realize that he's losing it and he's not looking good in front of people. But that's just my takeaway from it. I was listening to ABC yesterday, and they were kind of touching on something like this, that he didn't seem like he was really fighting at all up until like the end where he started talking mess. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call him necessarily a different Donald Trump. I think it's just a scared and more defensive Donald Trump.
Yeah, I do see where you're coming from, that he was more of a defensive Donald Trump, but there was times where he pushed the envelope, I guess you would say. Let's see, there was times where I think he really did a good job whenever it came to the Clinton Foundation of pushing her on that subject, even though she did push back on the Trump Foundation, and so, but I think on that one he might have won on that subject.
For what?
The Clinton Foundation one.
What about it? Refresh my memory.
That he was saying how the people in Little Haiti, they don't like the Clintons very much, something like that, because of the Clinton Foundation, and that they're on the payroll of the Clinton. I mean, I don't know if this is all true, but they're on the Clintons. The Clintons are on the payroll of the Clinton Foundation, and you can't do that if you're a nonprofit. And that he was saying that they go buy jets from it and all that stuff. So I don't know if all that's true. And then Hillary hit back, saying that he used the Trump Foundation to pay off some legal issues that he had, which he denied. But then the fact checkers said it was true that he did that. And but I think on that subject, I think Trump did a really good job in pushing the envelope, or pushing her.
Do you think he won there?
That one. I think that was a little victory for him, just because he got Hillary to, I guess, to play defense a little bit, which was, I mean, which was pretty good, because I think that's like kind of the strategy of both of them, is to make one another play on the defense. Because when you're on the defense, you say pretty much anything to come out and turn the script around. And for the most part, I think Clinton has been doing that better than Trump, pushing him, making him go on the defense. And then that's when he kind of gets himself into trouble, when he starts saying all these things, and then he tries to turn it around. But then but then you get those fun one-liners that we all love, that we've all been that we're all loving of Donald Trump, that he says because we can make fun of him all the time.
Correct.
But I think on that one, he did win. It wasn't like a big win. It was like a little win, a minor win for him, I think. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on that one?
I mean, just by the fact that he can't really back up what he's saying, and he's just kind of like, well, I was there. I know that that's what happens in Little Haiti. Always throws me off because he can never back it up with anyone other than himself. And we've seen the big mural that he has of himself that, according to a Univision article that I read, cost like $10,000. And of course, I mean, we'll never know if that was paid with the tax returns, or what is it that were
the Trump Foundation.
The Trump Foundation, because he doesn't release what everyone releases every year. That's my whole thing with that. I mean, I get what you're saying, that you're like, well, it's great because he's calling her out, but at the same time, we don't know if it's true or not, because he's always like, well, I was there, I saw it, and we're like, well, yeah, you've said that about 9/11 before, and you've been proven wrong about what happened during September 11th in New York, that he claims that there were Muslim people shouting and screaming, celebrating, and that was proved to be false. So, I mean, it's kind of hard just to take it by his word, especially when his word is very not trustworthy, which, don't get me wrong, that's exactly what politicians are, but while you're running, you don't want to seem that way.
Yeah, that's what I said, was kind of like a little victory for him in that part of the debate. But overall, I don't know, man. Overall, I think overall, Trump was winning a little bit. It's like this much. Like, I'm putting my fingers like really close to each other for you, everybody listening on the podcast. But I think to reiterate what you said, where he lost it when he pretty much said, if Clinton wins, I'm not gonna accept it, and I'm gonna do what I don't know what happens if a president or a nominee to be president says that he won't accept the decision of the American people. I don't know what happens then, because I've never seen that in my lifetime. I know there's been a case where that happened. They were talking about it. I think when JFK ran, I think that's when that happened. And I mean, I'm not a historian or political historian, so I don't know what happens when that does happen. And I mean, maybe we'll see that happen in our lifetime. Who knows, man? This whole presidential election has been one of the weirdest that I've ever seen. I mean, it is the first time that we're doing a podcast in this presidential election. So what a fun presidential election to start a podcast on, right? I don't know, man. What other thoughts do you have on the debate?
I don't know. I mean, mainly it was just a whole bunch of bickering that I wish we could have gotten rid of. I wish it would have been different. I wish it wouldn't be such a mess, mainly. But it is what it is, which I feel like is a thing that we keep saying more and more often.
Yeah, it's. See, if you're trying to see who to vote for, like I said, don't go in blind. I know there's YouTube channels that have the whole presidential elections there if they haven't taken them down yet. I don't know how that all that works, but you can go back and find them and see the debates. Do your research on both candidates. See what benefits the United States as a whole. So that way when you go into a voting booth, you can have an educated opinion.
Correct.
On who do you think will do better for the United States, whether it be Trump, Hillary, or one of the other parties, the Green Party or the other, which I don't think any of them are gonna win. because in this election, it's there's a lot of people that are pro Trump, a lot of people that are pro Hillary, and the people in the middle are a little bit, and I think that's who's gonna come down to it. The people in the middle, which of these two candidates swayed those non-party voters their way, whether it be they swayed in Republican or swayed in Democratic. So it's gonna be I think this is gonna be one of the closest elections we're gonna have. I don't think Hillary or Trump will win it in a landslide, like other people, news organizations or paper or articles on the online that I've read that they think Hillary's gonna win by a landslide or Trump's gonna win by a landslide. If it was Hillary or Trump against somebody else, I think that would be the case. But in this case, I think it's gonna be one of the most tight elections that we're gonna have in a while. I mean, like really, really tight. I think that's how I see this thing going. Any last thoughts, Edward, or do you want to talk about something else?
Well, no. I mean, mainly I guess I'm just disappointed and tired. I really can't wait until all of this is over, I guess, is my main closing thought. I wish it would have been different. I wish we weren't in this position that we are. And like Asiel said, if you haven't done any research and you still don't know who you're voting for, please go find who you're going to vote for. Because it's not a good time to not vote. This is where we can practice our democracy and how our country works and how it's led. So please go vote.
Yeah. When does voting is November 8th, correct?
Some presidential candidates will tell you it's the 28th. It's not the 28th. I promise you, it is just the 8th.
November 8th is the big day, so circle it on the calendar, put it on your smartphone or your iPhone, Android. Make sure your Android doesn't explode whenever you put the date in there. Haha, yes. Sorry. I had to get that in there. I had to, sorry. Anyways, so make sure you go vote. Like Edward said, this is going to be a crucial election, not only for the presidential election, but also for local elections and state elections. It's going to be a pretty big one this year. So make sure you guys exercise your right. As always, thanks for listening. Comment, share, and like this video. If there's any other, we do have our topics that we talk about. But if there's anything else that you would like us to do research and dive in a little bit more, leave that in the comment down below. Also, who you're voting for? Who do you think is gonna be the better nominee, the better president of the two? You can debate that in the comments down below, like you viewers love to do. Make your opinion heard. This is what this format is all about. We live in a democracy where we have multiple opinions. Anyways, thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing. My name is Asiel Flores. You can find me on Twitter at Asiel, Asiel 91. That's Asiel 91.
And you can find me anywhere on the internet as Chuntillo, Chuntillo.
Make sure to go vote. Make your voice heard. See you guys.
Bye, everyone.